This is Skirmish League Live.
Crisis. Them dirty snakes under the tutelage of both Mecca and Apollo. Mecca missed the playoffs last season, so let's hear his excuses and see what's so crucial about this Crisis lineup. What say you, Mecca?
All right, to my defense, that was the first time I think I've ever missed playoffs in my USL career, which is like 30 fucking seasons. But no, we didn't play that well. And actually, LTDN was up in 2 or 3 of the games that we lost. I think we were up against Worms for a little bit, and we were up like 17-1 against Syndicate, and we just blew the lead. We just didn't have composure. But anyway, so Crisis, I see us probably, same old snake thing. We'll probably finish semis or go to the champs. It depends on who we play and who stays active. We're also looking to pick up a few other players, so the roster, I'll say, is not complete. Yeah, but I do think we probably have the best medic combo in the league, save for Rejects. If Ketis shows up for Rejects, Rejects has the best medic combo. But if he doesn't, I think Hustler, and even if he does, I think Hustler and Stav are 2 of the finest medics in the league. Nobody gives Hustler credit, but if you watch him play when Hustler's on his game, he's great. We just picked up Colossal Jeff, great player, great pickup for us after ESO snaked us yet again and joined Rejects. But our starting lineup as of now is probably Apollo, Colossal, Demon, Judas, Nos, and OMC as Marines, and then Stav and Hustler as medics.
Let me just go ahead and talk about Crisis for a minute. Mecca keeps saying that they're same old snakes. Well, they're not really the same snakes that they've been for the last couple of seasons. They're missing key additions in Fairfax and Gift. Maybe Gift and Fairfax are the things that keep people from winning championships. I don't know. We'll see this season with Crisis. You got Mecca, who's a solid player, but he's just going to hide behind a rock and wait to law you in the face whenever you come around the corner. Apollo's a very solid leader. People don't like to give him credit, but Paul's actually a pretty good player, man. Like, I know people don't like him too much, but he's actually a really good dude, and he should put up good numbers for this squad. You got Jeff for this squad, and he's, in my opinion, probably their biggest pickup. He's going to be doing a lot of their heavy lifting. Other than that, they look kind of mediocre. You got Nosekeeper. He's a really good player as well, but I don't really see him shining too much on this squad. As far as like the 2 best medics, I don't agree with that at all. I watched Hustler play on LTD, and he really didn't impress me last season, to be honest with you. He got out of position a lot, and he was just able to get picked off a lot. Stav is top tier in my opinion. He's been underrated his whole infantry career. He's super good, and just like nobody seems to notice him. And for the rest of the squad, they just kind of line up, and I would say they're a good solid 7.5, 8, just like Browntown. They're able to put up a lot of kills, but when the game gets on the line, who knows what they're going to do. I don't know if Mecca can recover from not making playoffs last season. Him and Jeff both didn't make playoffs last season, so they could be hungry to do it this season.
I agree with a lot of what you said there. I don't think that losing Fax and the Gift is easy to make up. While I like Sav, and I'm okay on Hustler. I'm not as high as you are on Hustler, definitely Mecca, but I do think that Stav is a fantastic medic, and what's best about him is how consistent he is at being that. But he's no Fairfax. He's not that level either. And I don't know when you go up against the better squads how the medics are going to stack up against that, particularly when you do play guys like Fax. But then again, you got some really good Marines to make up the difference. I think Demon, if he shakes off the rust he's got on, Eric can be an amazing player. And with Colossal alongside, you've got some really, really good players, and OMC, really underrated Marines who, when put together, can play above average games, pretty quality games for you. And then Mecca, the extra element there, the unknown. I think, Mecca, you're going to have to show up with a big game every single Sunday. And the games you don't show up in is the games your team possibly loses. But Soul also, I don't know how many games he shows up to, but if he shows up to a lot, that all the better for your squad.
We all know Soul's not going to show up. I don't even know why he's on the roster. He doesn't show up for anybody but Dave, and then he doesn't even show up for Dave half the time. So I don't know how you're going to get Soul to show up, Mecca.
I'm not
I
sure.
think-
I don't even know if he's going to show up. He accepted the invite, so we'll see. I guess.
I
don't
think you have a
expect him to.
great top four and then a steep drop off. And I'm not sure how that's going to do when you get to later stages, particularly in playoff season. I think playoffs is going to be a struggle for you guys, but we'll see. We'll see. I would probably rate you guys right now a 6.5 to 7. Actually 6.5 is pretty wrong. I'm gonna go 7.5 probably. You have a strong roster, but it really depends on who shows up on Sunday. Like all these other squads, our inactivity can be the bane of our teams.
My only defense against these numbers is in the probably 25 SBs we've SB'd, we've lost, I think, 3 times. And we've played everybody. While I've been on, we haven't lost to Browntown. We've beaten Worms, I think, 5 times out of 6. And we haven't lost to Rejects yet. So despite all these shortcomings on our roster, I think that everybody else's shortcomings are just as big, and I don't think it matters. And also with Hustler, I don't think that you can name 4 medics better than Hustler in the league right now.
I think I can name 4 right off the bat. You got Manu, Stav, Fax, Ketis, and I would probably even say,
See?
who else?
Yep, that's my point.
And that was 4 right there. Ketis
I
doesn't
don't
really
think
count
Manu's better
though.
though.
I think Manu's way better than Hustler.
I
Way
think
better. It's not
Manu
even
is
close. It's not
to
even
me-
close.
To me, Manu is like Ginobili on the Spurs in the later years. He just kind of there and gets carried to a championship.
All he does is win, though. You can't deny that. He's won USL
Ginobili
every
is
single
clutch in
season.
the playoffs, though.
He's
That's the
I
whole
said
point of
old
Ginobili.
Ginobili. I said old Ginobili.
Okay, well, my point is that is Manu. I think he's clutch in playoff. I think he's that kind of player. I think he
I don't
can
see
be
it.
an anchor in regular season, but come playoff time, he's a great med. But we need to move past this. What's the ratings going? What do you guys think?
I give him a solid 8. I mean, they're good. They're a good squad. It depends on who's going to show up.
Depending
Mecca, what
on
you gonna rate yourself?
Depending on activity and additions, I think we're probably right around 8. I think that we'll probably compete for. I think this season there's no undefeated. I think everybody goes, 5-2 or something like that. So yeah, I'm probably around 8.
What is that, about 7.75 average? We'll round it up to an 8. I think that sounds about right. That puts you in contenders for one of the top squads in the league. That's it for Crisis. Next up, Hypocrite. Stay tuned.